My thoughts on tonight's Ruslan Provodnikov versus Chris Algieri fight headlining on HBO's card, and prediction is Provodnikov by KO either early inside of 4 or just sometime in between the mid rounds. I just don't see this fight going past 8 or 9 rounds, and that's being modest. On paper, what you have is basically a Provodnikov showcase and a stay busy fight, and we'll see how he looks because his opponent is pretty much tailor made for him in the sense that he has fought nobody compared to who Provodnikov has fought, and it's just like black and white in terms of the resume. And we'll see how Provodnikov looks after his last victory, which was almost 8 months ago, so that's a pretty long layoff for an active fighter. And we'll see how much ring rust Provodnikov has, and we'll see how the fight turns out and plays out. But Algieri's best chance is to use his 4-inch height advantage and 6-inch reach advantage, try to box from the outside, but ultimately, I think it's going to come down to how long he can keep Provodnikov off of him, and Provodnikov's come-forward style and cutting the ring off and just bulldozing his opponent like he did Alvarado in his last victory is just what's going to happen, I think, at the end of the day. Once the first bell rings, it's just a matter of time of Provodnikov catching Algieri with his power and the volume of punches that he throws. And really, to Algieri, I guess you could give the guy nothing but respect and credit for taking the fight against a guy that nobody wants to fight in Provodnikov, and such a powerful guy and a dangerous guy. And I'd say this is, without question, Algieri's biggest fight to date. Very unknown, and he's never fought outside of New York. And that will continue tonight because the fight is there at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. So I think that Algieri's best shot at the victory, even though he's 19-0 with 8 KOs, so not much power, and against pretty much no-name guys. And unless the only guy on his resume that's of note is Mike Arnautis, and besides that, this is like a huge step up for Algieri, and I just don't see him holding up against Provodnikov's power. And like I said, HBO producers had to have seen this as a showcase for Provodnikov, and we'll just see if it plays out any differently. But I do see a Provodnikov victory by KO either early between, I'd say, 4 and 6 rounds, and no later than 8 to 9 rounds. And again, that's being modest, and I just see that as the outcome, and we'll see what happens after that. And that's my prediction: Provodnikov from early KO to a 8 to 9 round KO. And I see this almost as a similar fight and situation when Lucas Matisse, and nobody wanted to fight him, fought Mike Dallas Jr. This is a kind of fight that I see happening, and that ended very early as well. So I see a similar fight and a similar outcome to that, and Provodnikov all but surely should be the victor tonight.